All right, everybody, what's going on? You are now tuning in with Staying Focused with Brandy, with your host, me, myself, and I, Brandy J. Flynn. And we are going to just go ahead and go straight to the interview. I have basketball wife, Meeka Claxton. And one thing about her, she's actually a wife on the show. You can't say that about too many of them. So, Meeka, how you doing today?
I'm doing really good. Spending the day with my husband out here in New York, so feels good.
Okay. Now, your husband is Meeka Claxton, who is a basketball player. How did you guys meet?
I met Speedy in college. I was the new girl on campus, and he was real cool. Showed me around, introduced me to some people. Yeah, then we started dating. Good looks.
Oh, okay.
Good looks.
What college did you guys go to?
We went to Hofstra in New York.
Okay.
On Long Island.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, I had never even heard of Hofstra. Like, I went there because I wanted to get off campus. Wanted to get on campus. I lived in Queens, and I was going to John Jay University in the city. So I was taking the train and doing all that. And one day I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Like, I gotta get, on the campus. I love living with mom and dad, but, they're a little overprotective. So basically, I'm listening to the radio, and they said, you trying to be, far enough that you have your own space? I was like, yeah, that's me.
Exactly.
You want to still be close enough for home cooked meals? That's me. So I actually went up to, the open registration. I'd never heard of it before, and it's so funny that things really are meant to be because I met my husband there.
Oh, wow. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it, because I know a lot of people want to ask you, I've had a lot of people ask me about certain questions that they want me to ask you. So
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So how did you come about being on Basketball Wives?
Shawnee and I have a mutual friend, and she had suggested it to me when I was telling her that I was celebrating the 1-year anniversary of my second office out in Georgia. I own a global relocation firm. So she was excited and saying that, you should really be on Basketball Wives and show the world that we're out there working and doing things and, whatever. We're not all just sitting home. And, she's pretty shy, so she thought that I'd be cool. And I was like, I don't know about all that. But then after talking about it with my friend, another friend that doesn't know any of them, she was saying, stay away from the drama and, I think it'll be a good look. So I called her back and said, you know what? Yeah, make the connection. So she called Shawnee, and I got a call from production the next week. Okay, so it wasn't you trying to, because I want everybody, because I'm going to put it like this. And I know I got some questions to ask you, but I'm the type of person, I don't like to do scripts. I want us to have a conversation, me and you and everybody else that's watching the show. So, because to me, the show made it seem like that you asked Shawnee to be this, me and a lot of people. So it wasn't you trying to I had never even spoken to Shawnee, honestly, but I could see where things could get misconstrued, and that's why I said, people might have misunderstood her saying that she was contacted. It wasn't by me. It was a friend that they thought that I'd be good for the show, not even me. But, I ain't mad at all that. I really could care less what other people think,
Okay.
So, it's not a big deal to me that they're thinking that, it is what it is. I know how it went down. And, like I said, she used my BBM status pic at the time, sent it to her yeah, this is my girl Meeka, blah, blah,
Right.
Come on, it's really not that serious. Nobody, was hunting anybody down. I mean, it's not that serious.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So how did your husband feel about you being on the show? Because, okay, let's be real. I talk about Basketball Wives a lot. And I know that TV can portray you in a way that you may not be. And I am woman enough to say that I had some views about you. Now I'm just like,
good.
yeah, but I'm
glad. I understand that completely.
Right, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna just attack you and point the finger and stuff out like that. I feel it just be a great platform for you to get the record straight, especially since the show is not over with, that it's in the middle of the season. So with Basketball Wives, okay, we can say that you are the only wife on the show. And the show does come with drama, and that's what we like. I don't do drama. I just like to watch it. So how did your husband feel about you doing the show?
Well, it's so funny. First, I got to say I appreciate that, the fact that, you understand television, but more importantly, that you wanted to get a chance to know me before you come at me, So I definitely appreciate that. But as far as my husband is concerned, I didn't talk to him initially when I spoke to the mutual friend and took the time to speak to, a friend that I was with out there in Atlanta, when I was working. And I said, let me just feel out the situation and see what happens through Jackie, this girl Jackie Paul. So she spoke to her, and like I said, I was contacted. And when I was contacted, it was no sense for me talking to my husband and nothing happened from it. Nothing came of it.
Right.
So when I got contacted the next week is when I, told my husband, and he was just like, hell nah, like that show. Like, we weren't even avid watchers. We watched a couple episodes the first season, and then we caught like the finale last season. And he was like, "Come on, man, you already see what it's about. They're not going to try to show what we want to show, which is the luxury, the real way we live. We have a cool ass family. We live good. We're really blessed, but we work hard.
Exactly."
So he didn't feel like he was going to show it, and I was like, no, I really think they're going to show what they're going to show it. I was just very confident in that, basically. Let's just say that.
Okay.
And, let's just hope that you guys get to see that. I don't know, but let's just hope you get to see it,
right.
Is where I'm at this point. But, he just wasn't feeling it. And then when, as filming was going on, he was cool with it. You saw he was shooting, and he was cool because it does not seem like the way it looked, so serious. Everything is fun. It's really not that serious when you're shooting. And it's not until he sees it on TV that he's not really feeling it. Like, he don't watch it, so.
Okay, so
I can't blame him.
Okay, so he doesn't watch it. That's what you're saying.
He's not feeling it.
Okay, so if there is a Basketball Wives 4, and does he, if you want to do it, will he, I don't want to say allow you to do it, but yeah, will he allow you to do it?
I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from when you say the word. I know what you're saying. You know what? I think anything can happen because at this point, like you said, the season's not over, so we don't really know where it's going to go from here. And so, we can't really say yay or nay yet,
Right. Now, I know in the beginning of the show, you talked about how you're doing real estate. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I know that, I think that you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you are trying to hit the market where people that got the money. Like the $1 million houses.
That's what I do.
Oh, that's
okay. That's actually what I do. That's how we started. Our doors were never open to the public. As a matter of fact, we never even advertised for the last 3-4 years. We were just athletes that we knew that knew other athletes were like, you got to rock with Meeka and her crew, because I only worked with a team of 3 other people at the time, and we traveled and we got everything settled for the guys while they're in season, before the season, whatever.
Okay.
And we made stuff happen. We still make it happen, but it was a good system. It's a really great system, actually. So we opened the doors to the military, and that's been working out really well because they appreciate the red carpet service at no cost to them.
Wow.
It's like we're really treating them like they are athletes and entertainers with that, red carpet lifestyle,
Okay.
And just recently, this last year, we decided to open it globally, like to the world. So anyone could call and say, I'm relocating, I need a house in Chicago, I'm leaving Indiana, for example. So that's, I wanted the Miami space because I do have guys that are on the Miami Heat that I've worked with, and Miami's a big hub for athletes off season.
Right.
So these guys that we've worked with in the past, NFL players also, could bring like their friends when they're in town by just on the spur of the moment, like, hey, let me introduce you. But you're looking for something? Let me introduce you to my homegirl Meeka, like that. because it's more of a, of a friend vibe when you deal with athletes and entertainers on that level.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So since you've been on the show, has business picked up even more because people know who you are and see what you're doing? Because I mean, I can say for myself, we all have an angle of doing things. Even though that I do the radio show, I'm also a mental health counselor. I'm trying to market myself in the entertainment industry as a mental health counselor. So can you say thank you. So can you say that you're using, let's be real, can you say that you're using the show to say, hey, this is what I do if you need my services?
It's funny.
Ain't nothing wrong with it if you are
I
now.
definitely didn't go on this show as a way to market the business or anything like that. It was more to show, like, I honestly just didn't feel like we were represented. You know what I'm saying? So when the opportunity arose, like, I was like, maybe.
Okay.
Like I said, I was hesitant at first, but I was like, it's a great opportunity to show, I'm still rocking with, NBA couples. We're still going, away with them. We're still, like, hanging out with them. And, like, I don't feel like it was really shown. So from the few episodes that I saw, I could be wrong. But, we just thought it would be a good opportunity, like I said, to show a couple that's stable. Like, everybody's been through things, but we're good. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
We have a cool family and we're grounded. But I really wasn't trying to show, like, I wanted to show that side of me, that I'm a businesswoman also, but I wasn't really thinking in terms of, marketing that at all.
Cool. Well, we got a great information about yourself. So, want to get about you and the other ladies. Now, with you being the only wife. Now, let me ask you this. I'm gonna be real with you. How do you feel about the show being called Basketball Wives and none of the ladies are wives? Shani is divorced. Jennifer was married, and now she's going through a divorce. Evelyn was engaged, and now she's engaged now to Chad. Susie, I think she was just in a long relationship, and Royce was she has the White House. I mean, from what I hear, she's the White House baby mama, and of course Tammy was married to Kenny Anderson. So, from a wife point of view, how do you feel about the show? Is called Basketball Wives, but nobody is a wife. Well, except for you now.
Well, I didn't name the show, so I can't really touch on the name at all. But I know that, all I can say is that when I first tuned in, the first season, like I said, and I caught those episodes, I was excited to see who was going to be on it, and, which wives were going to be a part of the show, and, to see the lifestyle that, that we live represented, you know what I mean? The jet setting and, the vacation and the family life behind the scenes and everything. So I was excited, to see who was going to rep for us. And then, I didn't see anybody, but Jennifer was married. So I was like, okay. But it's more about them being out there in Miami together.
Right.
So, I guess that's, again, why I said, hopefully with me being on, I can offer those things and and hang out with the wives that I know on camera and, show that we still not only communicate, but we offer like an ear to each other, business-wise, just like in general. Like, we're always supporting each other, me and these other girls. So I thought that would be a great addition for that reason. And, like I said, I didn't think that we were represented. So, that's all I can say about that. I really... I
totally agree with you. I really don't think that, and I love the show. I watch the show every Monday. I've been watching it. Well,
I think it's a great idea to show behind the scenes and stuff.
Yeah, but I can understand what you're saying about the wives, the basketball wives itself not being represented. Being a wife of a basketball player. So let me go down the line with the cast members. Okay. You and Royce. Now, I know in the beginning you was kind of guarded with Royce, and from when I saw when you guys were talking, I think the issue that you had with her, and correct me if I'm wrong, was about her being a dancer. and for the Miami Heat and Orlando Magic. And I guess because, it's supposed to be against the rules of, the dancer is supposed to be fraternizing with the basketball players. Was that your initial issue with her, or was it from the he say she say stuff that you heard about her?
No, it definitely was not from the he say she say. It's just from, like I said, watching the few episodes I did see, I knew who she was. I knew that she was a dancer that was against rules, fraternizing, and obviously dealing with a player. And it's like, as a wife, or even as a steady girlfriend or fiance of a player, you kind of trust that, the girls that are dropping like it's hot and shaking, and they're back in the locker room back there with them, that then they're following the rules, that they're not fraternizing and things like that. So for me, that was it. It was like coming in there as that guarded, significant other. I didn't even have to be married.
Right.
I could have been, like I said, someone's girlfriend or fiance, because I know girlfriends and fiancés right now that would be like, oh, I'm not messing with her. She is that chick and whatever. So I know the mentality that, that we hold.
Right.
So I went in there and I was just really honest. Like, I didn't want to even meet you because, you represent the girls that are crossing the lines that, and you're not supposed to. But, I said it the other day. One thing I can say about her is she's very open. Like, she answered questions that she doesn't owe me anything, and she was responding, and she was, very responsive. Like, she answered these questions that I had and, really just explained herself and where she was coming from, and I can only respect that. So from there, I just let it go.
Okay.
It's like, if she didn't do anything to me, hey, boom.
Right. So let me ask you this, because I've always, until I just asked you this question, I've always wondered, why was everybody jumping on Royce because she danced, but now I can understand why, because you already have other women that you have to worry about. You have to worry about the groupies, you got to worry about the frantic fans and things like that, because there's a particular player there. I'm not gonna say quote unquote love. I mean, I'm a very fanatic of a particular basketball player, but I would never do anything. I might make jokes or whatever, but I would never do anything to disturb their life.
Absolutely right. Like, the mentality is, oh man, the guys are on the road, the guys are here. Like, you think it. You can have the best guy in the world, and you think it. Like, right. I'm traveling, and my husband's like, where are you? Every minute he's like, what are you doing? Who are you with? It's like when your significant other is gone for periods at a time, it's like you just that's the way you are. You just want to make sure that everything is cool, and then you have them in the back, like you said, in the back of the locker room, half naked girls, and you're naked, and it's just crazy in the back, by the locker room, you're walking around any kind of way. So that's where we're coming from. It's not that we don't like you because you're a dancer. Like, not at all. One of my best friends dances, she's not a dancer for a team, but she's a dancer. Right. She choreographs. She does video choreography, and she's been everywhere. She's on Broadway. I mean, it's not because you're a dancer. It's because of it's because she represented a girl that crossed the line. That's all it was.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't even let you get to that point. They just automatically want to come at you now and judge you for judging that person. Whereas I'm not the only one that judged Joyce in the beginning. Every last one of those girls, the other cast members, my friend Tammy included, judged her at one point, but then got to know her, and that's what I'm doing. I judged her, we spoke, now we're getting to know each other. So we're getting past that, and I don't understand why I'm the one catching flack for it.
Well, you know what, I guess because, and now I get your point of view from you explaining. Now I see your side of it and other basketball wives, girlfriends, fiance side of it. I guess because the reason why you catch flack for it is because it was like, as soon as you came in, it was just like, bam, just went at it. But on the flip side, if that's an issue, why just ponder around with it? Look, let me go ahead and get this off my chest. And if you say what I feel is right, then we can move on. So I can understand it now. See, I'm glad we have this interview.
It wasn't me coming off any kind of way. People are like, do you regret the way you come off? No, none of that. Like, I wanted her to know that I spoke to Jennifer beforehand and said, I don't know about meeting her. I don't know if I really want to, because the other girls would kill me if they knew I and stuff like that. So, my other, like, NBA wife friends and girlfriends and stuff like that. So I'm telling her this, and I just wanted to keep it real with her, and that's where I was coming from. You know, at the end of our brunch, we toasted like, you know, that was it. All right, it is what it is. Until you do something to me, I don't have a problem, you know, whatever. So it definitely was not like me coming at her like, yeah, girl, yeah, I don't like you. It wasn't even like that. I wanted her to know, hey, so I didn't even want to come here, but the girls encouraged me to get to know you, and that's what I'm doing. And I let her know why, you know?
Right. Now, on episode 2, Tammy confronted you as an attempt to defend Royce. And as from what Tammy said was that somebody in the circle told her, and quote unquote, I don't like to cuss on my show, but since I'm verbatim for what she said, that you don't fuck with bitches like her, meaning Royce. To be honest, do you think that they told her that I'm sorry. Do you think that was true? Do you think that was just like a controversial thing to happen? Do you think, you know, somebody actually told her that? So,
Well, I mean, I think there's definitely a possibility that someone told her that, because, you know, of course, when you see me talking to Evelyn about her after I had thought she was talking things about me,
right?
And I'm talking like, man, I thought she was different. I thought we were cool, but I guess not. Boom, boom, boom. When you see me talking like that, time did pass, and I did speak to her. I didn't want to speak to her again because I thought, wow, you know what I mean? I thought we were going to just try to start scratch.
Right.
But I chose to meet up with her like I did, and she brought Susie and talked to her about what I had heard. She cleared things up. I said, hey, oops, my bad then, because I really thought you were talking crap, you know?
Right.
And we laughed about it. We said, hey, let's try this again. And from then on, I don't know about her, but I definitely didn't say anything negative about her. I was just trying to get to know her, and I made it clear to everybody, hey, we agreed to disagree on certain things, and we are going to just get to know each other, right?
Right.
And so when that happened, now, you know, we had met up in between now, and now the brunch comes. I'm completely confused because, to me, a fake chick, which is what Tammy tried to accuse me of, is someone who went from talking crap and then just went into the brunch without clearing the air with Royce, you know?
Right.
And I was like, did I say something after that, after she and I cleared the air? Because, you know, some time had passed. And I'm like, did I say something? That don't even sound right.
Right. Cause
so I was very confused because that's the way I took it, as if she got off the phone with someone and I had just been like, yo, this chick is blah, blah, and then came in there to break bread with them. And that's definitely not me, and that's not how it went down. So I was very confused. You know, I was like, man, dang, I must drink a lot then because I really don't remember this, you know? And then I told her, I was like, you know, I thought you were talking crap, and this must be when I thought you were talking crap. But she's making it seem like it's right now, you know?
Right.
So I had to explain that to Royce because I don't want anybody thinking like that's how it went down. But it is what it is, you know. As a friend, Tammy being her friend, if she thought that that's what was going on, I honestly understand her saying something, but it was like, hey, there's a timeline here. You know, I wasn't just coming in and breaking bread after I just got off the phone with one of these girls trashing your homegirl. That's not even how it went down.
Okay. Now, there was a second altercation at the polo event, and it looked like that you provoked it. Now, do you think that you were just trying to be funny when you asked Tammy had she been drinking? Because we know when Tammy drinks, you know, she spazzes out and things like that. So let's be honest. Were you trying to be funny when you said, hey, has she had anything to drink?
Ramsey, I'm so glad you asked me this. Because, you know, you should see people, you starting it, you starting. No, I'm not the starter, okay? Anything I do is a reaction. I'm the coolest chick you'll ever meet, you know? Anything you see is me, you know, whether I say something or do something, I'm reacting. I don't just pop off. I don't just come out there, you know. I'm a New York girl, but I'm not that kind of New York girl. I'm not out there looking to start fights and come out and, you know, flip out on people, causing drama. Man, I'm a family woman. I'm a businesswoman before I'm on this TV show doing all of that, you know?
Right.
What happened was when she came over to talk to us, I wanted to know, obviously things happened before that, but I can't, you know, speak about it. But
right.
What happened, though, is that I had heard from every girl, keep the liquor away from her. Otherwise, she's cool. Otherwise, she's cool. And that's just real. They said, otherwise, she's cool.
Okay. And so, she did have a cup in her hand when she came up to you guys. Her
sitting down, when she wanted to come talk to us, and she's talking to Jen, but she's talking about the situation with Roy. She's like, you remember when I said, hey, have you been drinking? I just wanted to know where she was at.
Oh.
Like, where her head was at. That's all. It was a simple question, honestly. It was such a simple question, but because she was being a jerk, talking about, what, you my mother? I'm like, yeah, I'm your mother. Like, just being a jerk back.
Okay.
I was being very defensive back. You know what I'm saying? But It was a simple question. I thought it was simple. I know when I asked the girls when I walked into the event, of him, I'm like, hey, y'all started the party without me? And they're like, yeah. Like, it's not that big of a deal to ask somebody if they've been drinking.
Okay.
Obviously, she has issues about that whole thing, and she doesn't, that whole people thinking she's drinking all the time or whatever. Okay, then maybe I touched a sore subject for her.
Okay.
But I didn't feel like it was anything wrong at all with asking somebody if they've been drinking, because I've heard certain things, what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And then it just got out of hand from there, because she's like, this is what you my mother? Yeah, I'm your mother. I was just being a jerk. Like, okay. Yeah, I'm your mother. Come on. I know I'm not your mother.
Okay, so you was being...
How old do you think I am?
So you was being a jerk when you made the yeah, I'm your mama come in, but you wasn't being a jerk when you asked her what she drinking.
Okay, yeah, but I definitely was just asking a simple question.
Okay. But the second one, you was being sarcastic.
Yeah, she's just like, I don't understand how people think you can bully a bully. I'm not the bully here at all. Never have been, never will be. That's not my style at all. I've always been the kind of person that I'm going to tell you, hey, that comment was kind of offensive. Like, why, where was that coming from? I'm going to talk to you about it,
Right.
I've always been like that. I respect the same, and I expect you to do the same if I've offended you and things like that. And if I didn't mean to, I'm going to let you know, hey, my fault, I'm sorry, that's not where I was going with it. But, I'm not a bully at all. By any means am I not a bully.
Okay. Now let's go on to let's go to the other side of the group, Evelyn and Jennifer. Now, I will say that the show does make it seem like you really want to be associated with these two, and even Shani. Is that true? Because I know when we was talking, when they showed about when Susie invited you to the polo event, and she told you about Royce and Tammy being there, and when you called Jennifer and when you asked her about it and said, well, can I go with you guys? And the show does portray that it's like you really want to be on team Jennifer and Evelyn. So can you clarify that? It's just...
Yeah. It's so funny. And that's the other thing that, cracks me up when people think that, from what they're seeing on TV. You know what I mean?
Right.
Come on now. Let's be for real. I was team everybody, except I was weary. At that point, Royce and I had gotten over anything. We were, like I said, getting to know each other, actually hanging out and stuff like that. I would team everybody, but I was very hesitant about Tammy from after our brunch with her touching my hands, and I was like, you know what, this girl, she likes drama. She's too in your face. I don't mesh well with people like that, because I'm not an abrasive kind of chick like that. That's not me, you know?
Exactly.
I didn't come on here for drama. I came out here to, like I said, build my business and get to know these girls in the process, right?
Right.
So for me, I just knew that I was with her, it probably wasn't going to mix well. So that's when I was just like, Susie, man, I don't know. I think I'm going to call and see if these girls want to go. And if they're going, I'm going to roll with them. As far as me telling Susie, though, just touching on this, I told her, she needs to pick a side, because she's their friend. I'm not their friend like that. So I could hang out with who I want to hang out with till I get to know them better. She is supposedly all of their friends. She knows a lot about each of them. So it's hard when you know a lot about each girl and then you want to hang out with their enemy, quote unquote, because it's like, what are you talking to them about?
Right.
How can I trust you as my friend? You know what I mean? I was talking to her, not on me, on my end. I don't need to pick any sides, even though Tammy did mention that at the beginning, it's going to be a time when you got to pick. But I definitely wasn't thinking like that, so...
Okay. But if you
I'm not thinking team whoever, team Jennifer or team Evelyn. That's not where I was going at all with it at all. I was just thinking I'm going with them because anytime I'm with anybody but Tammy, it's drinks, it's laughs, and that's all it was.
Okay. But with it being a well, now since Tammy and from last week, the week before last, when Shawnee, Tammy, Evelyn, and Jennifer, I guess to say that Tammy and Evelyn have made up. So I guess, I mean, do you think there's going to be a point where you're going to have to pick a side because the group is not together as a unit? I mean, it is divided. So do you ever think that you're going to have to pick a side, or do you think that you can just continue to stay neutral?
Well, I think honestly that honestly I don't know. Like, it really just remains to be seen. That's the way I feel. Like, I go with the flow. Like, if it comes to a point where someone does something to me, then that's when obviously I'm gonna be like, I can't even roll with you at all.
Right.
But for the most part, I think getting to know everybody is a good thing.
Okay. Now, since the show is over with, how's your relationship with Tammy now? Are you guys friends, or you can't speak about that right now?
No, I mean, we're not friends.
Okay. you
cordial. I want to be her friend.
Oh, okay. I understand that. Well, ask one last question. Are any of you guys friends on the show? I mean, or do you think?
Well,
like, do you
go ahead.
Do you think anybody is a true friend on the show?
No, I think that there are true friends within that group because they live out there in Miami. They see each other. They speak to each other often, and they've known each other for years. I mean, there are within that group, there are some true friendships. I really do see that. I'm lying, but for me, there wasn't even enough time for me to develop a friendship between me trying to work and have drinks with them when I could and things like that to get to know them and attend events with them.
Uh-huh.
So there wasn't enough time. I mean, I keep in contact with a couple. It's not really like I was looking for friends going on the show.
Right.
It was like I said, I wanted to show another side of a wife, but at the same time, it was supposed to be an added bonus to, meet up with the girls and have people, like Shawnee said, that I could relax with. You can't just be about business all the time, especially in Miami. Okay. So that was supposed to be just an added bonus. I didn't really go in there looking for friends and expecting friends. I have enough friends. And, at that, the girls and I, and this is just to touch on this. I was very comfortable meeting Shawnee, Jennifer, and Evelyn because they do share mutual friends with me.
Right.
So I heard a lot about them, and I think they had told them, like, hey, Meeka's so cool, whatever. So when we came in, it was like, hey, girl. It was just like that. It was very comfortable. Tammy, I just went in. I'm very polite, so I'm just going in happy to meet her and Susie. Royce was the only one I was hesitant about meeting. So for anyone that thinks I was going in there trying to, be on, just like I said, Team Jennifer, Team Evelyn, that's it. That's not even the case. Like, I was trying to, meet everyone on equal footing.
Okay. One last question. For me, if you can do it all over again, knowing from what you have experienced and how the show has presented you to the world, would you do it again?
You know what? All I have to say is that is 0.001% of me. I think everybody has that percent in them to be shown to the world. And if you say you don't, you're lying. Everyone can get catty. Everyone can get, just like annoyed and just be like a jerk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there's so much to me in the other 99.99% that I think people should see and want to get to see.
Right.
But hopefully you get to see it at some point.
Okay.
So that's all I got to say.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out your busy schedule for doing the interview. But I would like for you.
This was great.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you. But before you leave, I would like for you to give us a drop. So whenever we play on the show, especially when I'm playing my show, that people can know that that you're a fan of the show. The station is WRUGradio.com, or you can just say, hey, this
Say that one more time.
WRUGradio.com, and you know, just take it away.
Hey, this is your girl Meeka Claxton from VH1's Basketball Wives 3, and you're listening to WRUGradio.com.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it.